Hello and welcome people, it's me MD12 and this is going to be the Bundesliga preview for this match day. So I'm going to start with the match that is happening right now, which is Hertha Berlin versus Hanover. And I actually did this preview 5 minutes ago, and then while I was doing the preview, Salomon Kalou scored, so it was like, well, should I just do it again, or you know what, because there's no point, because I was saying that I thought that Hanover was going to win, and then in that exact second Hertha Berlin score, so yeah, it is what it is. But I'll start another match day. I'm going to start with the Hanover vs Hertha Berlin match. Obviously, now that Hertha Berlin is 1-0 up, I do think they're going to keep the lead. I do think they were the better team. So Hertha Berlin is going to win that match. Next up, Bayer Leverkusen versus FC Köln. Obviously, I want to get to Bayern Munich last, just so I can have a bit more to talk about. Well, Bayer Leverkusen versus FC Köln. Leverkusen has to win that match. They've been on a crazy scoring / conceding spree, and obviously with the match that they've lost against Roma, I do think that they're going to have to bounce back, and I think that's going to be the match for them to bounce back. So I do think Bayer Leverkusen is going to score the goals, but this time they're going to be defensive as well. So expect a 3-0. Yeah, 3-0 for Bayer Leverkusen. I know it's a bit out there, but 3-0 is what I see, 3-0 is what I predict, and 3-0 is what I know, because I know it's going to end 3-0. Next up, Borussia Mönchengladbach versus FC Ingolstadt. Gladbach, they're just too good right now. I mean, even against Juventus, I didn't think they were outplayed. I thought they were pretty decent. Obviously, they're now out of the Champions League, but I do think that if they would have played better in the first two matches, against Manchester City and Sevilla, I do think that they could have actually maybe gotten second place in that group. But I just think the beginning was too bad, but right now in the current form, I don't think there's any real team that can beat them. Any real team in the Bundesliga that isn't in the top 4 that can realistically beat them, and that's what I do think that Gladbach is gonna win that match 3-0 as well. High scoring game, I know, but it is, and again, it is what it is. That needs to be I need to frame that phrase right behind me, saying it is what it is, because I just keep saying it. But anyway. FC Mainz versus Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg, honestly, they've had a few good games in the Bundesliga, but in general this year they've not convinced me whatsoever. And I do agree with what I think it was Kevin De Bruyne that said that Wolfsburg this year, instead of actually adding quality to the team, they lost quality instead of adding, so that's why he left. And if that was the case, I do agree with him, because I did say before, if you go back to my Bundesliga season preview, I did say that I think Wolfsburg should have gone for someone like Chicharito, a striker, because I do think that they need a striker that can actually play with the ball. I do think that they need better attacking players, because I just don't feel like their attacking players are that good. I think their midfield and the defense is fine, but I think their striking force is not that great. They're all too offensive, and they were all one-dimensional. The fact that you have Andres Schürrle on the bench, it shows you that you have quality, but it also shows you that you buy players for their names rather than actually scout them, which you could say the same thing about Julian Draxler. Julian Draxler, he's good, but did I think that Wolfsburg really needed someone the type of Julian Draxler? No, I thought they needed someone that could actually, that could not play creatively, but play creative passes. I thought that's what they needed, and Draxler is more someone that likes to take people on. So I do think they need to buy better players based on the actual system. But for this match in itself, I do think that Wolfsburg's gonna win, just because they've had a loss against PSV, a deserved loss, and I do think that after you lose in the Champions League, you normally win in the Bundesliga. So I do think that Wolfsburg's going to win, but I think this one is going to be a rather close one. I think this one's going to be a 2-1 victory for Wolfsburg. Next up, Hoffenheim versus Eintracht Frankfurt. Honestly, I'm going to go with Frankfurt for this one, just because they shut us out last time, and it was a draw. But they're generally a team that likes to attack. They're generally a team that likes to go forward. They've got the players to do so, and that's why I do think that Frankfurt is going to be, if they're gonna continue being defensive like last time, defensively solid like last time, like they were against us, but also play to the attacking strength, then I don't see Hoffenheim win this match. So I do think Frankfurt is going to win this match 2-1. And next up, Darmstadt versus Hamburg. I think this is going to be the one draw of this match day, and I do think this match is going to end up as a 0-0 draw, the only goalless game in this Bundesliga match day. Just because I do think Darmstadt is better at home than Hamburg are away, and but Hamburg is better quality wise than Darmstadt is. So I do think that Darmstadt is going to have the edge in terms of the game, but Hamburg's quality is just going to shut them out, and that's what I think is going to happen. Next up, Borussia Dortmund versus Schalke 04 via derby. Yeah, it's yellow versus blue, and honestly, this is the biggest match day of the weekend. This is going to be a tough one, because you normally expect Dortmund to win because of the current form, the way they've been playing, the way they've been, scoring goals like it's fun. Aubameyang, I mean, he's on a crazy spree. Royce, he's gonna be injured. He's injured for that match, okay. But they've still got Mkhitaryan. They've still got Kagawa. They've still got Gundogan. They could put Castro further forward. They've got a lot of depth in quality. They've got a lot of depth, and they've got a lot of good players for the attacking positions in midfield and in defense and in net. So in terms of quality of the actual squad, they're the second best squad in the Bundesliga, the second best balanced squad in the Bundesliga, and Schalke, they've not actually looked that great in the last 3-4 matches. So for this match, I'm going to go with Dortmund. I do think it's going to be a very high scoring draw, just because, the emotions will be high, the atmosphere will be intense. It's a derby, it's an important match. So I do think this match is going to end up as a 4-0 victory for Dortmund. I know that's a little bit out there, but a 4-0 victory. If you guys do think that I'm a little bit crazy, trust me, I'm always right, So I do think that Dortmund's going to win that match 4-0, keeping the gap between us and Dortmund at 5 points, which is very important for us specifically, just because that will mean that we'll have to keep up our form throughout the whole season, not just the beginning. Next up though, Augsburg versus Werder Bremen. Augsburg, Europa League, I mean, you're pretty good. You were pretty good. And Werder Bremen, they've had a few rough patches here and there, but in general, they're not too bad either. But I do think Augsburg just have the extra little bit of quality, the extra little bit of spice that is going to help them win this match 2-1 for Augsburg. But now let's actually get into Bayern Munich versus Stuttgart. Now, we obviously have just beaten Arsenal 5-1. But I don't think our players will really be full of confidence, because our players are always full of confidence. That's the thing about us. We have that mentality to be the best, basically. We have the mentality to be the best. If we are the best, if we're not the best, we have the mentality to become the best. So we are a mentality beast, And that's why I do think that we're just too much for Stuttgart, not just obviously in terms of players, but in terms of mentality, because Stuttgart will come to Munich trying to damage limitation. With the last 5 home games, we've scored 5 goals in each, except one game where we scored 4. It's still crazy. Having on average 4.5 goals or something like that, it's just crazy, and it just shows how good we are at home. And now that we're playing against Stuttgart at home, yeah, they will come to defend. They will come to defend, but we will also come to score. Well, we'll be there to score. And I don't see Stuttgart getting a win out of this, I'm sorry. But I do think this match is going to have a lot of goals. So if you're interested in watching this match, you'll see a lot. If you're neutral and you're interested in just turning the game on watching this match, you'll be seeing a lot of goals. And I do think this match is going to have 6 goals, just so we can have our average be 5 goals per home game. Boy, oh boy, 6-0. A little bit out there, I know. But in general, right now, our players are just... They're just working. The chemistry is there. We've had Robin not playing against Arsenal for 60 minutes or so, and we still look great. Coman, he's just got the national call. He's got the call up for the French national team. At 19 years old, I'm 19 years old. I'm sitting at home making videos. That's the difference. He's earning thousands of dollars, euros, whatever, and I'm sitting at home making videos wearing a Nike shirt. No, I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. But yeah, it's crazy. The guy is so young. I feel like it feels so wrong saying that. Obviously, for me saying that, because I'm 19 years too. But the guy is young, and he's already amazing, you know. So we have players, we have the squad numbers, we have the depth that makes where we can play a 19-year-old kid in the Champions League against a good team in Arsenal and still be very good, you know. That's the kind of crazy players that we have, and we have players coming back. There's a rumor that Batchduber will be getting some minutes in that match, which is amazing, you know, if he comes back, because he is really amazing, you know. I remember that one match against Real Madrid, 2012, for me, man of the match, I know that match, but anyway, 6-0. That's all I can say. 6-0. I know I'm being overconfident, but I'm just going off the numbers. I'm just going off what I'm feeling. Yeah, I don't really think about results that much. I just think, for me, the result itself isn't that important, except if we lose. But rather how we play. And at home, we've always been playing with full intensity. At home, we've always been playing, you know, our best strength. And with Lewandowski, Müller, Costa, Coleman, Robin, Thiago, Vidal. Yeah. Like, I just named these few people, and only 5 or so can actually play in the front rows, yo, and it's just crazy. We just have so much depth. But I do want to see a few players getting rested. Boateng, I do want to see him get rested. I do want to see Benatia play maybe one half, and then Boateng come in for like the last half, just because Boateng, he's been playing all the matches he's been playing all the matches literally. I want Alaba to get rested, but obviously now Bernat is injured out. He's injured for much longer. Lam, I do think, needs a rest. Rafinha can come in. I'm sorry, I've got a hiccup now. I do also think that Alonso needs to be rested, just because in the last match against Arsenal, he had like he had 5 shaky minutes or so, but besides that, he was actually fantastic. But I do think he needs to get a little rested. We've got Kimmich, you know, and he is a great player. You know, he's a great player, so he can actually come in and fill in the role. But you know, I do want a few players to get rested, but I don't want to play like a second team basically. So my predicted lineup is Neuer. Neuer, he doesn't need to get rested. He's a player that doesn't do too much in the game, so you know, he doesn't need to get rested, especially at home. I don't think he needs to get rested. So if Neuer in goal, left back, obviously we have to put Alaba there, just because we don't have another left back right now because Benatis injured. The 2 centre backs, I'd like to see Javi and Benatia. Although saying Javi, you know, he needs to get a little bit of a rest too. We don't have that many centre backs. That's a problem. Maybe Kirchhoff can come in. You know, I think he's fit. And like we can see what if he's improved or whatnot. But Kirchhoff can maybe come in. Javi. But in general, I do think Alaba, Javi, Benatia, and Rafinha, that's what I would like to see. Let's just assume we're playing a 4-2-3-1. Then I'd like to see Kimmich and Thiago, just because Thiago, the more he plays, the better he gets. Because he's still, like, he's 24 years old, but he's hardly played. So I think for him, he's basically like what I would say to like a 21-year-old. They need to play. And that's the same feeling that I get for Thiago. He needs to play to develop to get better. I mean, he's already fantastic, but he needs to still get better, you know. So I'd have Kimmich and Thiago. On the left, I'd have Coman. He's young. He needs to play, develop. You know. I thought last game he was okay. In terms of position, I thought he was great, but in terms of actually decision making, I didn't think he was that good. So Coman on the left. I do think our 2 strikers, they don't really need a rest, but Coman on the left. I'd like to see Vidal in a number 10 role. And Robin on the right, just because obviously Robin is slowly coming back. I mean, he was already fit, but now he's slowly coming back more and more. And one of Lewandowski or Müller as a striker, probably Lewandowski, because obviously Müller, you know, he's been playing a lot of games. Lewandowski at least had a few minutes rest here and there, whereas Müller really didn't. So I would like to see Müller get rested for one match. But that's my lineup. That's my lineup. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section down below what kind of lineup you would like to see, and what kind of players you would like to see rested. But as always, people, this was me as Anime TV. There's a little bit of a longer video just because I really wanted to talk about a few things in the Bayern Munich match. You know, injuries and whatnot, call-ups to the national team, and so on and so forth. Tomorrow I'll be doing I should mention this in the video. So tomorrow I'm gonna do another question video. For those that don't know, I asked a question on Twitter, and if you follow me on Twitter, you can reply. And basically the question is, if you could choose one Bayern player from the past, which Bayern player would you choose? So one Bayern player from the past in their prime, obviously not a 70-year-old Beckenbauer or something, but a prime Beckenbauer, so like 25-year-old Beckenbauer, play for us, that kind of thing. If you could choose one player from the past, who would it be? And you'll see the results tomorrow. But as always, people, this was MD12 TV. Rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. Peace out and have a nice day. Bye.